We are zhOra, you're listening to Louder.
I'm Batman, listen to zhOra. Louder.
So I got Tom and Batman of zhOra from, am I going to say Dublin?
No, mostly Tipperary. I'd never say Dublin. My mother would kick me out of the house if I said the band are from Dublin.
Okay.
So we're 3/4 from Tipperary, 1/4, yeah that's correct, 4 quarters from Dublin, and all the other mats everyone else can figure out the
Let's
rest of
just say we're from Tip.
Okay, so
it. Yeah, that'll do.
proper Irish, okay, representing. You even guys brought the hurling bats.
Hurling bats, Hurleys.
Harleys,
I'll have you
okay,
know.
I'm learning so much here. And the funny thing is that we pitched our tent and then we realized we were neighbors and that I actually know of your band. I was planning on catching you guys live, and then I caught the full act of what zhOra is from dawn till dusk. And then on stage you guys erupted. What brought you to Bloodstock here? Can you just explain what zhOra is to everyone listening and watching?
zhOra is 4 dirty little men from the south of Ireland. Well, 3 dirty men from the south of Ireland and 1 slightly cleaner man from Dublin.
Pale.
Yeah, the Pale. I got the Pale. And what we like to do is come over and just absolutely pull people's heads off with riffs and vocals and more riffs, and then we get the riffs and we put the riffs inside the riffs.
Okay, and I know you guys just released a tiny EP and you're working on a new album.
Yeah.
Can you tell me anything about that? I think it's a concept album.
It is. It's a back-to-front concept album. It's called Ethos, Pathos, Logos, which is Latin for the modes of persuasion. It's a term to kind of delineate the ways that people will try and convince another person of their point of view. And there's 3 ways that you can do it. There's kind of the rational one, Logos, there's the emotional appeal, and then there's the kind of appeal of using your rank. And that can kind of relate to anything, but more so than anything, the idea behind it was to kind of try and write something that is just kind of, I don't know, a kind of lyrical essay on, like, you don't really believe your beliefs, you know, what you really do is kind of just parrot out what somebody else has told you. I mean, a lot of people, you can relate it to any sort of political or social thing that's going on at the moment, but for me, it's kind of a little about that kind of militant atheist thing. I like that kind of thing of extremist views. I don't like any of them particularly. So I wrote the thing, but the concept. But what I was getting at is when you're doing this kind of, you see this militant atheist thing where people are kind of going, well, these stupid dumb Christians, they don't know what they're doing, blah 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 blah, and they denigrate them and they really bring them down. And how can they not see that kind of bias and that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Just the irrational hatred of them is no way any different from what the Christians might have done back in years long gone away, you know? And in doing that, we wanted to make like a little story where this main character, went off on this particular quest and ended up doing something completely different than his point of view at the start of the album. So he's literally become the antithesis of his point of view, and he goes off and executes this, you know, ultimate agenda just purely because he's ascribed some sort of meaning to his life events that have happened up until through the album. So it's like I said, it's just kind of, how do you actually believe the things you believe? You don't really. It's just your point of view and the things that happen will influence it, but you don't necessarily believe it.
So even though the other half of the band is screaming on stage, there's a skull of a deer on stage.
Oh yeah.
You guys are preaching love.
Oh yeah, man, don't be a dick. You know, don't be a dick.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that love. You guys promised me you're gonna share the story of your first kiss, because that's metal, right?
That's so
I
metal.
just for the listeners and viewers to understand, it's not the first kiss of you two with each other.
Me and Tom's first kiss was just this weekend, actually, funny enough.
Okay, but your first.
I'm gonna
kiss-
say that on camera anyway, you know.
So I didn't ask you to go there, but again, no judgment here, we're all friends. But your first kiss that initiated the romance that made you go into music.
Oh, you first, don't worry.
I don't know, it's a big one. First kiss that made me go into music.
When was it? School?
Yeah, definitely school. Yeah. Way back. So I don't know. I can barely remember school, man. I can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago. Like.
Okay, Tom, I'm going to appeal to you for some more vital information.
Oh yeah, I got it. I used to be in a marching band years and years ago. I quit when I was 21, but that's kind of what started me doing music in the first place. We actually used to do like a marching band type of thing around the streets, but we actually used to play Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Now it was really slow and we couldn't kind of march it because, you know, dun, 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 dun. You can't walk to that, it's too slow. But there was a girl in like the colour guard, which is like the dances with all the flags, and I kissed her one time, she kissed me back, and that was grand.
Okay.
That was it was lovely.
That's it, never led to anything, you're not married?
Oh no, I'm married to a different girl.
So metal and love go hand in hand.
Yeah, they
marching
do.
together.
They do, because I mean, you listen to like something along the lines of Pantera, you know, just because something is shouted and there's guttural sounds coming out of your speakers or out of a stage doesn't mean that you can't be preaching something that's just not full of hatred. You don't have to. You can be vociferous about something and still be preaching the kind of don't be a dick. Do you know? I mean, like a lot of Pantera songs, I would say, are like that they're kind of about being strong and stuff. And like, whatever people want to say about the white power thing, I don't care. You know, it's not that I don't disregard the stuff that he said. He shouldn't have said it. But what I take from a lot of those songs, and it means something different to me, is just to be strong, and it's okay to be a little bit different. That kind of stuff. So I mean, that's a lot of what the hardcore movement is about. You know, like the positive anger, the PMA and all that kind of stuff. And I think it kind of shows that you can sing about whatever you want, as happy as it is or as bad as it is.
I've definitely jammed out the Pantera as an angsty teenager to like get myself from a bad mood and a good mood. So in that way, I suppose it's a positive, angry outlet for, you know, a happy result, really. Like, yeah.
So next show, you're going to convert a mosh pit or the Wall of Death into just hugging each other and singing Kumbaya together?
Oh yeah, and if you can get some like kind of bean bags for people to sit down on, you know, that'd be cool too.
So this is Irish metal. Okay, we're being exposed to so much, learning so much. Kids, maybe don't try this at home. Okay, zhOra, what's up next for you guys?
What's up next for us is, well, we're going back home, but we have a gig on the 26th of August in Dublin with loads of our friends. And then the next time we're coming to England is the 8th of December for Face Barmageddon in Reading.
Okay, and is there a date for the LP?
The LP has been released on the 26th of October, and that is 3 days before the Siege of Limerick, which we're playing at as well. We're going to play a fair bit of the album, not all of it. It's over an hour long. So we got about a 40-minute slot. So we're going to play that. And then we have some other little launch dates: Limerick, Galway, Dublin, etc., etc.
Okay, great. Anything else you want to add to fans and listeners?
Listen to zhOra.
Do it. Bacardi and Coke, do it.
Okay, powerful words from the boys of zhOra. Thank you very much. Okay.